Kayla Johnson, a black millennial, recently traveled to Zambia, Africa to experience the motherland, the Zambian people, and their rich culture and food. Joining us is NNV contributor Nina Shabazz to share her interview. Greetings,
Good
sis.
evening. How are you?
I'm doing great, doing great.
Eid Mubarak.
Eid Kareem.
So I thought this would be a good segment since we're gearing up for vacation. I thought it would be a really nice segue into talk about some of the vacation plans that some of our people, millennials, and that sort of thing are having. And so I thought it would be a really good opportunity to send my niece, Kayla Johnson, to live abroad. And so, because it's something I think that, we should all experience, even if it's, 2 or 3 months, we should take that experience to live abroad. And so,
Mhm.
so some of the things that I was asking her, having gone abroad for her first time, what
Mhm.
was her first impression of Africa, mainly Zambia, when she arrived? And this is her thoughts here.
My name is Kayla Johnson, and this is my first time staying abroad and visiting Africa. And my first impressions upon arrival were, when as soon as I exited the airport, I could tell that nature was a continuous feature of most established locations, and that there is a lot of respect for nature. And the ride from the airport showed us how expansive Zambia is, and Africa as a whole. There's just so much untouched land still, and how much is still being developed into modern standards, like highways and freeways and stuff like that. But overall, so beautiful. I love being surrounded by nature and breathing fresh air, so I just felt really comforted by the fact that there weren't tall buildings or factories pumping out, emissions. So it was nice to be able to just step out and feel just surrounded by nature, which I love and which I wanted.
That's amazing. I definitely have to say, her what's the word I'm looking for? Her emphasis on the respect for nature that Zambia has is very important because a lot of times we don't take in consideration of the fact of how much of a positive effect that nature can have on us as as an individual human being. And because I know even whenever I went to Seattle one time, just with all the trees, like the air there is different, way different than
Hmm.
it is from Texas. It's much more crisp, it's much more clean. And even when I go back home to Bermuda, sometimes like just the sun feels different. Just being around all the trees, hearing the natural animals that are there, making their sounds, being able to see trees with fruit producing trees on just a random corner that you could just grab a fresh fruit off the tree and really taste the freshness of a fruit besides it being imported and you getting it from the store. So I definitely can um I can definitely, feel her on that feeling with being surrounded by that nature and just really becoming at peace with herself.
Right. I mean, it's funny that you should mention fruit and that sort of thing because, I was asking her what are some of the foods that she's a big foodie like I am.
Mm,
And so I was asking her, like, how are you finding the foods? What kind of cuisine, are you able to get over there,
mm,
besides some of the local cuisine? And so this is what she said.
mm,
So the food and cuisine I've tried um, so far I've realized that Zambia has very simple meals, inspired by many different cultures. So it kind of depends on your preference and what are the places you're going to. Um, there's fresh produce all over the place. There are people selling tomatoes and avocado down almost every road. So if you're vegan or vegetarian there and enjoy cooking, there's a lot of inexpensive produce available all around. Um, Another thing I noticed is that all of the foods and drinks are not high in sodium and sugar like Americans are used to. So most of the foods are pretty mild, and until you ask for like peri peri, pepper, spice, hot sauce, whatever you call it. But that's if you like your food spicy. So once you find your preference, the food's good, and you know what to ask for and how to jazz it up the way you like. But pretty simple meals for the most part. One of the main staples of Zambian food is called nchima, and it's kind of similar to fufu, but not the texture. It's more like a thick, like grits, thicker, and you can like pick up the rest of your meal with it. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Ryan?
Trial one. This is lumanda, traditional dish
Okay.
for Zambians.
How is it? It's good?
It's actually good. It tastes kind of like spinach with literally ground nuts. Like they got nuts from the ground.
What kind of nuts? Peanuts?
Like peanuts, yeah.
Ooh, cashew?
It's not warm though.
It's not warm.
Yeah, it tastes like room temperature.
Let me taste.
Wow, that sounds just mighty interesting as far as the food goes. Because one thing I've noticed, and she kind of confirmed this, was the similarity between foods all around the world and how they're very similar as far as having a bread, a dish that contains a meat and a vegetable or like a grain, and then also some type of like not salad, but like a not yeah, like a soup. Like it's sometimes it's like always in a stew type of form, like a spice. That's the word I'm looking for, a very distinct spice. And then how all across the world there's a similar way that we eat that's vastly different from the way that America structures their food, where we get hamburgers and pizza and French fries over here. And so, because in the same, just going back to Bermuda, we eat a lot of rice, curries, breads, and things of that nature, and spices as well, as what she was mentioning about adding the hot chili peppers to the food as well.
Yeah, right. No, definitely. And I think other cultures have a little bit more balance in their palate. Americans are very carb laden. You mentioned pizza, hamburgers, all of that's bread and carbs. Hamburger, French fries, all of those are heavy carb meals. The other thing too that she mentioned was what to expect for the accommodations. And so, I told her, go ahead and give us a tour of what people can expect in terms of accommodations. I mean, there are hotels, there are Airbnbs, but this is what she showed us in terms of the accommodations.
Fantastic.
So, what are my accommodations like, and what others can expect? Well, that kind of depends. I've been staying on a compound with next level development. For those who don't know what a compound is, it's basically just a large piece of land with 2 or more houses on it within walls. So that's what we're at right now. So far, I've enjoyed this experience. It's kind of nice to like be able to select or know your neighbors, and be able to like share your day or share something you've made. For example, my partner is really good at making fresh juice, so he made carrot juice, and we were able to share it with some of the others within the compound. And it's a nice feeling to be a part of a little community. Definitely something I would want in my future, and not be strangers with my neighbors, or have animosity because of the strangeness.
That's beautiful. It's beautiful to see that they still work together as a community, and that there's neighborly love going on out there in Zambia. Because I know here it's not the same as it used to be. Because back then, you would have you could go next door, get you a cup of sugar and whatnot. But now, neighbors are very standoffish. So being able to just be able to share experiences, and like she said, to share different things that she's has accomplished with her neighbors and with those that she's there, and they're all to get in there together, and they can all help each other and possibly trust each other as well as they're living there as a community, is a beautiful experience, I'm sure.
Absolutely, and you can see some of the grounds that they're on. It's a beautiful place. It's
Hmm.
Garden of Eden for sure. It
Absolutely.
is an oasis. I don't know if she's gonna come back after this. So, she's really enjoying herself, and so I think this is a really good idea to kind of, how do you encourage millennials who usually they have their first trip abroad, they choose Europe. And so, I was asking her, how would you communicate to your age group or your cohort, to really get them to do, maybe encourage them to come to Africa as opposed to Europe.
Mhm.
And so this is one of the things that she was telling me, how she would, connect to millennials and kind of spread the word about traveling to Africa.
Absolutely.
What would I tell someone to make Africa their first trip abroad instead of Europe, as usually, college people do? The first trip they go to, they're studying abroad, they go to Europe. Well, the biggest reason why I would want someone to come to Africa for their first trip abroad is money conversion. So there's a lot more you can do with the amount of money that's just already in your pocket, like not needing to save up or to, hit a lick, as they say, and then go on a trip, but just, use your regular income. Yeah, if you want to experience the luxury lifestyle without having to pay thousands of dollars, you'll have a blast in Africa. Specifically Zambia and many other African countries. But yeah, so like, for example, like with $50, you could like eat out every night of the week, and it'd be pretty affordable, depending on your taste, how many drinks you get, or if you get appetizers and stuff like that. But you can get like a week full of meals with just $50. On the way here, we had a pretty long layover in Switzerland, and we had our meal in the airport was a grilled cheese and a large cup of tomato soup that we shared, and that alone was like almost $25. So
Wow.
Right, right.
Affordable
So
luxury. That's beautiful.
it is. And so, I look forward to some more footage that she's going to share with us. And, I just want people to really start thinking about, contributing, because you're contributing to the local economy as well. So when you
Mhm.
think of, your vacation plans, think Africa.
Absolutely. I'm definitely thinking Africa as well for my first trip abroad. So thank you for giving us some more information and insight on affairs that are going abroad, and letting us get a firsthand experience on what it's like to travel to Africa.
You're absolutely welcome.
Thank you. You have a blessed one.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night. Let us pause for announcements from our sponsors. Coming up, Doshan Farad will talk about the Israeli-Palestinian conflict and the innocent lives lost. We'll be right back.
Be a part of the force that powers truth in journalism. Go to nnvnews.com/donate.
Worldwide, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Download the Final Call Radio app and take us everywhere. On your phone, on your computer, on your tablet, on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You can also log on to finalcall.com and click the Listen Live button, or finalcallradio.com. Final Call Radio, the official voice of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam.
Please share your thoughts with us in the comment section below. Follow us on social media at NNV News, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel at National Network View. I am Anissa Muhammad with NNVnews.com.